Hello, my wonderful people. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on your time zone or anytime you are coming across this platform, Linda's TV show. If it is your first time and you like what we are doing here, kindly subscribe, put on your notification bell to all notifications. In that way, you'll be able to know when we upload a new video. I want to appreciate all of you massively for your support and being always with me. And I also appreciate YouTube for creating this wonderful platform that we are using to pass information across to the members of the public. At the same time, I put a disclaimer that here in Linda's TV show, we do not promote hate speech, violence, misleading information. We are only here to inform, educate the members of the public about the happenings. And also,
It was already thick with tension and determination. The chants calling for the release of NNAMDI KANU have grown louder by the hour, turning the city into a center of resistance and demand for accountability. What makes this moment so powerful is not just the number of people gathering, but the collective emotion driving them. Why are so many Nigerians willing to risk confrontation to demand the release of one man? What does this say about the trust, or the loss of it, between the people and the state institutions that are supposed to serve them? The presence of Omoyele Sowore, a well-known activist and former presidential candidate, has added a significant dimension to this protest. Sowore has long been a voice for civil freedom, human rights, and government accountability. His involvement suggests that this movement is not just about NNAMDI KANU. It's about the broader question of justice and state power in Nigeria. Why would a prominent activist like Sowore take such a public stand at this critical time? Is this the beginning of a new wave of organized resistance in Nigeria, or is it a desperate cry for reform in a system that many feel no longer listens?
This is a press conference called on the eve of Free NNAMDI KANU protest slated for tomorrow at the Aso Rock Villa. We are here to let people know that this action is going on as planned across the world, as a matter of fact, but the center of gravity will be Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory, where Mr. NNAMDI KANU is currently unlawfully and unjustly detained by the director, the State Security Services, known as DSS. The law is very clear. Mr. NNAMDI KANU's detention is not just illegal, it's a national disgrace. The government is disobeying its own courts and mocking the Nigerian Constitution, the 1999 Constitution that they subscribe to. Here is the truth, and what they don't want you to know is that the Court of Appeal cleared Mr. KANU in 2022 and discharged and acquitted him. That's the final. Yet the DSS, even upon this discharge and acquittal, never released him even for a second, in disobedience of the Court of Appeal position. It was pure contempt, and it has always been their tradition to defy the rule of law that they claim they subscribe to. The Supreme Court, of course, did take over the case erroneously. They overstepped. It is a twisted justice reversing a decision that has already been taken by a court of competent jurisdiction like the Court of Appeal on this particular matter. But even at that, the Supreme Court did say that Mr. KANU never violated his bail condition. It was the Nigerian army that caused the confusion. And you know that double jeopardy is also a crime. Nobody under the law should be tried for an offense for which they've been discharged and acquitted. It's known as double jeopardy. I may not be a lawyer, but I know this well enough.
Sowore's argument is clear. The prolonged detention of NNAMDI KANU by the Department of State Services, DSS, represents, in his words, an injustice of the highest order. For many Nigerians, this echoes far beyond the courtroom. It represents a sense of suffocation, the feeling that justice in Nigeria is selective, and that the law bends depending on who is involved. Could this perception of double standards be the reason Nigerians are once again taking to the streets, despite the risks? And if justice is truly blind, why do so many citizens feel unseen? The chants of Free NNAMDI KANU are not just political slogans. They are emotional cries for identity, for belonging, and for fairness.
Free NNAMDI KANU now! 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 Don't tear gas us! Free NNAMDI KANU now! Don't tear gas us! Don't tear gas us! Do not tear gas us! You are right to protest! Don't tear gas us! Free NNAMDI KANU now! Free NNAMDI KANU now! Free NNAMDI KANU now! NNAMDI KANU now! Sit! KANU now! Free NNAMDI KANU now! Let's go to beggar. NNAMDI KANU now! NNAMDI KANU now! NNAMDI KANU now! NNAMDI KANU now!
Many protesters see KANU's detention as symbolic of a deeper national wound, a wound of inequality, marginalization, and mistrust. But what happens when a cry for justice begins to sound like a demand for independence? Could this protest reignite deeper regional divisions that Nigeria has been struggling to manage since its creation? And if the government continues to ignore these emotional signals from its citizens, what kind of reaction could the nation be heading toward? The government's silence, or rather, its persistence in keeping KANU detained, has become increasingly difficult to defend publicly. With tensions already high from economic hardship, insecurity, and unemployment, when citizens begin to lose faith in the justice system, where do they turn next? When protest becomes the only language people believe will be heard, what message does that send to those in power?
Now, we need to do it now. Nigerian people! Nigerian people! Nigerian people! Nigerian people! Wait. Let's comment on that. I'm just taking you straight. Please. We are determined today to see that NNAMDI KANU is free. And we started as early as 7 a.m. But this is customary with our security forces. They attacked us unprovoked. And we decided that we will relocate to other parts of the city. And we are in Utako, and we will go around the city today until the city is shut down. the criminal using the soldiers and the police to fight terrorism. As Abisa, Para, Katsina, in Benue, in Plateau, and other places, they are using them on defenseless protesters. Please, you are aware that close today as NNAMDI now rally. But we also tell Nigerians that today is one of the darkest days in the history of Nigeria. NSAS protest 2020 is 5 years today. So we are going to take a minute silence to recognize the heroes who were killed at Escalating for NSAS. Can you take a minute silence?
The movement unfolding in Abuja today is being watched not just by Nigerians, but by the entire international community. Activists, journalists, and observers around the world are monitoring how the Nigerian government will respond, whether with dialogue or with force. Could the handling of this protest define Nigeria's human rights reputation for years to come? And will the government recognize this as an opportunity to rebuild trust, or will it view it as a challenge to suppress? As of this hour, the energy in Abuja continues to rise. Videos and live reports show growing crowds, signs, and songs calling for the immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Yet beneath the chants lies a question that cuts across all divides. What kind of nation does Nigeria want to be? One where dissent is punished, or one where dialogue and justice prevail? The answer may depend on what happens next, and how leaders respond to the voice of the people echoing through the capital today. In the coming hours, this protest could either be remembered as a turning point toward justice or as another chapter of confrontation between citizens and state power. Will this movement bring a renewed conversation about fairness and unity, or will it deepen the cracks already running through Nigeria's political structure? The eyes of the world are on Abuja, and every move counts. As this story continues to unfold, one thing is clear. Nigerians are speaking, and the world is listening. The call for justice for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has evolved into a broader call for national conscience, for a system that values fairness over fear and truth over silence. How this ends will depend not only on the actions of the government.
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has a date with the High Court, of which we do not anticipate that that day comes. We anticipate that actually he will be released, the gate will be open, and he will be set free before that 23rd of October. And talking about protests, there is an intriguing video that I want you to watch. Please calm down and watch this video. Watch it.
What are the plans for Monday?
No. Why are you asking him what his plans for Monday is? Why are you asking him? Eshen, how dare you? Like, of all the questions, you want to know his secrets? You want to know the plans for Monday? That is what you ask your fellow man? Sheung, use your head. So you want to know the secrets of the success of the protest so that you will go and tell your... Let me not talk. Just keep on watching.
October 20.
We just came from the FCT police command to this place. And they apparently had invited the people to intimidate them. So when I showed up, they said I wasn't the one they invited, so I left. They asked me to leave. They said they got a letter. So the person who then went to meet them, the lawyer to Nnamdi Kanu, barrister Maxwell, said they told him.
Did you hear that? They were invited, police invited Maxwell Okpara and other people. Did not invite Sowore. Sowore, who is the leader of the protest. He didn't invite Sowore, but they invited Maxwell Okpara to warn Maxwell Okpara. You see how Nigeria works? When they do something, they look for the Igbo man to scapegoat. What stopped them now from also inviting Sowore and others as the way they have been going around together? Why didn't they? Why didn't they invite them together? Why did they cut out Sowore and invite only the Igbos among them? You see, Nigeria, very wicked country. Very wicked, tribalistic, bigoted country. That is how they tag the NSAS protest and Igbo protest. Let's listen. Continue.
Or you should be held responsible if anything goes wrong. How does the police say that?
You see that Maxwell Okpara should be held responsible if anything goes wrong. But it's not what Okpara that is the face of the protest, though. But he's the Igbo man that you want to hold responsible for the protest. You see how they behave? Let's go on. Watch on.
Giving a letter to say protect, which is your duty.
Are you worried that it might be hijacked?
No, it's if a protest is hijacked, it's usually hijacked by government. So otherwise, peaceful protests has always been peacefully done. So this whole blackmail about hijack is as old as the invention of.
How long do you want to go on this protest?
I don't know yet. We'll wait till Monday, 7 a.m.
You start off Monday,
yes.
And this is only in Abuja.
Well, now we're hearing that other places want to participate, including people in the diaspora as well. But for now it's stated for, because the march is going to be to Aso Rock. Really? Yes.
To what end? Why Aso Rock?
Aso Rock is the person who has the final decision on how to release NNAMDI KANU, the guy there. Not even the AGF can do it. I know how these things work. It's a political decision that must come.
But you can't go to the Aso Rock.
What kind of question is that? That he cannot go to the Aso Rock? What do you mean? Like, what kind of interview is that? Like, look at the journalist, though. Look at the kind of questions you're asking. That is why they say Nigeria is the weapon fashioned against itself. Look at the journalist. Look at what he's asking. You can't go to Aso Rock. You are even telling him. That's what you're
protected.
You don't know about it.
When you go to the president is not in the country. So why protest in the home of the person that is not in his absence?
It's the home of the president of Nigeria. It's not the private house of.
This Shemu now winch. Not you won't tell me. This Shemu boy now winch. Let's go on.
Bola Tinubu. So there's always.
Isn't that too risky?
The office is always
too risky to go to perhaps the most fortified place in the country to say you want to stage a protest?
The most fortified place in the country is where the people decide is most fortified. So we'll see on Monday.
You heard that interview yourself. You heard it clear. I didn't hear it alone. I know we all heard it together. Many of you know this guy, Sheun, of course, Sheun Woking of Channels TV, #1 customer of the politicians. You know, he's their customer, patronizes them very well. Even the federal government, he's their customer. You know, they patronize his markets. He always tries to whitewash them and make them appear good on television. You know, he is the exact opposite of Rufai of Arise. You know, and there's a saying that says, once politicians like you, know that your own don't finish. So, Sheun, your own don't finish. Your own don't pata pata. There's a saying that when you're looking for Sheun, you will always find him in one politician's house or the other. Well, that's not my business. So this is what I have to say about that video. This is me being on the spot. #1, they have started panicking. Yes, the enemies are not sleeping. The enemies, like the Bible says, you know, the enemy fleeth when no man pursueth. They are panicking. It's already showing because they are reflecting in Sheun's face. Because whatever Sheun is doing there, you know, is a reflection of what his political friends, you know, sent him there to do. Also, #2, do you see that Sheun never mentioned Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name? He never talked about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's plight. He never demanded the release of Nnamdi Kanu or showed any emotions towards, you know, the object of the protest itself. All he was busy asking for was the plans. He wanted to know the schematics, the semantics. You know, he wanted to know the geography, you know, the architecture, the structure of the plan Sowore had. That's all he wanted, because he knows that he's live on camera and people are watching him to know the secrets. You know, the police, the security agencies, the politicians, they are watching him because he has told them to tune in, that is going to press Sowore very well to get information from Sowore. That is what he was trying to do. He is not interested in Nnamdi Kanu's plight, because as a journalist, you're supposed to be balanced and you're supposed to be unbiased. But look at what he's doing, trying to snuff out information from Sowore rather than being emotional to the plight that concerns all of us, because this is an injustice. Call it for what it is. This is an injustice. This man has been facing trial for long and there's been no judgment, and he's still in the cell, still denied medical health care, still denied his freedom. That is what you're asking, to know the plans. What I do with the plans? What are you doing with the plans? Why can't you ask about Nnamdi Kanu's health? Why? Or Nnamdi Kanu's freedom? Or at least ask how Nnamdi Kanu is doing. Also, number 3, it is clear that they are triggered by this protest. And when I mean they, I mean the federal government. I mean those people in power who put Nnamdi Kanu where he is. Those people who are responsible for his ordeal now. They are triggered and they are trying their best to see how they can avert this protest. They don't know what is coming up. They are scared. They don't know what to expect, and they are trying to see if they can find out what is in the mind of the protesters. And unfortunately, Sowore is not the only protester. That's the funny part. Protesters have their own minds, definitely. So on Monday is going to be a very big puzzle. Definitely is a peaceful protest, but it's going to be one to be remembered for, because never has it ever happened that a protest of this magnitude for Nnamdi Kanu has ever happened in any major city in Nigeria before, and one that is coming in the bedrock of the searchlight on Nigeria on Christian killings so far. This is one to watch out for. Number 4, looking at Shewun's face, you can see that he is trying to use his words and his facial language to discourage, Sowore, trying to bring out pitfalls like saying something like the president is not around, or Aso Rock is so fortified, or how possible is it you're going to go to Aso Rock. He's just trying to, weaken the morale of Sowore, to show him pitfalls to expect, or pitfalls that he may not be able to surmount by going there. And that was not necessary at all. Not necessary at all. How can you tell a protester that, hey, if you go here, they will arrest you. If you go here, you will not pass. And you are also a citizen of Nigeria demanding change in your country. And this is all you can ask for. Go and watch CNN and see Christina Amampo and see how they, how they tackle leaders and how they try to snuff out, the best for the people of the world. But you're here trying to silence Sowore's voice by trying to, make him afraid. Perhaps you want to make him afraid of what he's going to do. Definitely that was your plan. That is very shameful of you as a journalist to try to demoralize a man who is called for a godly cause. And number 5, Sowore has proved himself with this interview that he is formidable, that he is bold and fearless before all enemies, that he is willing to even give his life to a cause he believes in. The way he stood firm and replied all the questions that needed to be replied, and also avoided or dodged the ones that were a bullet or were trying to extract information from him. He just slipped and dodged those ones sensibly, like a boxer who is slipping a punch. That shows that Sowore is formidable, intelligent, and he has a lot of guile, composed, fearless. That is the hallmark of a true leader, a man who is called, to do the Lord's work. And this is to show people what I used to say, that if God calls you and you refuse to answer, he will raise up stones to worship him. He will raise up stones and trees to do his bidding. This is exactly what is happening in Sowore. This is exactly what the Southeast leaders are supposed to be doing. This is exactly what our governors, our leaders, our chiefs are supposed to be doing. But they fail to do it, thinking that nobody will come up to do it. But unfortunately, like I said, it's always the odd one that God uses. It's always the one that people don't expect that God uses. And God has decided to use Sowore right now, the unlikely person, the unlikely hero, to carry out this very bold task. And of course, Ndi Igbo, we are united in any cause. We know very well our challenges, and we are ready to unite behind anybody who is bold enough to take the gauntlet and to take the bull by the horn and decide to pursue our cause, because this is our cause and we will stand to protect it. We will never leave our brother behind. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is our brother, our father, our leader, and one who has taken the bullet for us and is prepared to even die for the cause he believes in. Of course, one that we all are in together, whether you like it or not. Politician or ordinary person in Igbo land, we are all tied to this cause.
Thank you so much, my wonderful viewers, for watching this video together with me from the beginning to the end. Like I said before, if you like what you see here, if you like what I do in this platform, as you have finished watching this video, please hit that red button that says subscribe and put on your notification bell to all notification. In that way, you'll be able to know when I upload a new video. Share my videos, leave your comments in the comment section constructively. Until I meet your way again in my next video, I still remain your Linda's TV show. Bye-bye.